position. He's even, right now you can see him just slapping some of the dust off of himself. Bunted by Dillon, but right back to Clancy. Over to first. Dillon had a nice idea about bunting, but didn't execute it all that well, and then he dropped it right back to the mound, and Clancy had no trouble. Stepped off the dirt, fielded it through to first.
Dillon's got great speed, but it was an easy play for Clancy. I wonder whether Dillon was trying to get it down the line more toward Hapward or somehow was trying to push it past. I would have to believe, since it was to the third base side, he was trying to get it more down the line.
With a one-away, Chris Schwarzbeck steps in. Schwarzbeck struck out looking in the first, and it could have been he was thinking, hey, maybe Hapward is thinking too much about what he did. Let me drop one down there, and he might just end up watching it roll. But as it was, it went right back to Clancy. There is Mark Hapward down at third base. Takes an unusual stance for a third baseman. Now he's not square to the plate, but rather his right foot is in front of his left by a good 6 to 8 inches.
And you see him down there, and if you can pull a ball down the line, there's virtually no way he's going to be able to make a backhand stop of it. If he does, he's a better athlete, and he's a good one, but a better athlete than I had imagined.
And Schwarzbeck takes ball 4. So Clancy, who had some control problems in the second inning, with one away here, walks Schwarzbeck, his third walk of the game. And Mike Stevens will step in. Stevens helped himself in that no-hitter when he led off the 8th with a single up the middle. He eventually scored what turned out to be the game-winning run. Scored on Tom Carini's fly out to right center field. Runner on the move. There's the throw down to second. Not in time, and a stolen base for Schwarzbeck. For Schwarzbeck, his 10th steal of the year.
Well, Shep's got to get something going, and Dillon and Schwarzbeck are the table setters. They've got good speed at the top of the lineup, and when they get on, good things happen for Seton Hall. Each time they've been on, Dillon in the first, Schwarzbeck here in the third, he sent them, and he's been successful both times.
So down by 2, Seton Hall has a runner at second and Stevens at the plate. Stevens this year with 9 doubles, 1 triple, 2 home runs. The 2 home runs are tied for the team high, as we mentioned earlier, with George Dillon. And again, that's been in somewhat limited action for Stevens. He's played in all the games, but again, that shoulder, that arm injury has slowed him down a bit.
Yeah, it was DHing an awful lot earlier in the year. Now that he's back pitching, Shep says that he's got to work on the breaking pitch a little bit. He's got the good fastball, but the breaking pitch has not come around.
He was ahead of that one, fouled it off into his leg. Through 18 touchdown passes for the Prep over the past 2 seasons for head coach John Allen.
Saw Coach Allen earlier this afternoon. He was talking about his golf game.
That's right, I saw you in the parking lot with John and his 3-iron. Hard hit ball towards left field and played there nicely by Jason Metaliano. Throw back to second, not in time. And Metaliano fields the hard line drive hit by Stevens for the second out of the inning. Can't hit it much harder, but he hit it right at Jay Metaliano.
And we'll take a look at it, and Metaliano perfectly placed, doesn't have to do much. Stevens going down for it and able to use his upper body strength and arm strength to turn on it. But Metaliano perfectly placed, a couple of steps in, tries to double up Schwarzbeck, but Schwarzbeck back in time.
That'll bring up Chris Cavallo. Cavallo fouls off the first pitch for a strike. Cavallo 0 for 1, struck out looking. He's from Roseland. Of course, Seton Hall draws from a number of communities in Essex and Morris County, and even some in Union County. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. So 2 strikes as Clancy quickly in front of Cavallo. And I would be guessing that big curveball is coming. Let's see what Clancy decides to throw. He was successful with it early. There it was. And they check Vinny Smith, and yes, the batter did go around. So Cavallo goes down swinging on the curve in the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and there was a runner left on. There it is in the dirt, but Cavallo went around. No hitter through 3 for Blake Clancy. We'll be back right after this.
TV3 continues its parade coverage with the Livingston Memorial Day Parade. Join me, Rob Matola, as the Township of Livingston and Suburban Cablevision TV3 pay tribute to the many men and women who sacrificed their lives for the United States. Watch the Livingston Memorial Day Parade, Tuesday, May 26th at 9:30 p.m., Thursday, May 28th at 3:30 p.m., and Friday, May 29th at 1 p.m. Only on Suburban Cablevision TV3.
Some young fans enjoying the action of today's high school baseball game here in Essex County between the Pirates and the Chiefs. A beautiful day to enjoy a game.
Paul, you made a comment last half inning about Cavallo being from Roseland and Seton Hall drawing from a wide range. And the parochial schools, of course, are always under scrutiny because of where they recruit from. And a lot of the public schools say, look, you know, we are limited to a geographic area, and then they can literally bring students in from anywhere. And how fair is it? And I notice on the hockey end that Harvey Cohen out of Chatham is putting forth and following through with some discussion on having in hockey a separate public and private school leagues.
As they do for almost every other sport, or the majority of sports. Also a proposal, first pitch to Todd Decker Prendergast is a swinging strike. It was a proposal by John Finnegan, the athletic director of Montclair Immaculate, that Parochial C be brought back to life for high school football. It had been abandoned in the mid-'70s. He said there are too many teams, particularly in the North, and particularly in North B, fighting for the 4 playoff berths.
The interesting thing there is you have to counter that argument with the fact that in South Jersey Parochial B, you sometimes don't get anybody beyond 1 team to qualify.
There are only 6 teams that play football in South Parochial B, and of course 4 of them potentially make the playoffs. Skied into the cage by Decker Prendergast. He had a single and an RBI back in the 2nd inning. 2-0 lead for the Chiefs here in the top of the 4th. A run in the 2nd, a run in the 3rd. And the Pirates still looking for their first base hits. Went high for that one. It's going to force Dillon to make the play coming in over the mound. Then he throws for the out. Nice play by George Dillon. Made the grab, ran over the mound. Made sure he hit the pitching rubber, and he threw from the rubber. Also would have been a balk.
A couple of good plays we've seen here by Dillon at third.
Made up for the play from last inning.
And has a good gun at third. Good player.
Well, if you just joined us, a very good game here in Essex County. But they'll be doing it again on Saturday at 3 o'clock. In the semifinal round action of the Greater Newark Tournament, times were established earlier today. Essex Catholic will play East Side in the noon game at Doc Geltz Field, followed at 3 by Caldwell and Seton Hall. Jeff Bowman, a single back in the 2nd inning. He's 1 for 1. He'll take a strike.
We have warm-up action in each bullpen.
Mike Fanning is throwing for the Prep.
And Mark Zevalk throwing for Caldwell.
There is Zevalk.
He's up from the junior varsity. He's got the different color uniform. He's got the bright white on. Has had varsity experience, pitched earlier in the year.
Fouled off the screen. Be tough to take out Blake Clancy at this point. Coach, I've got a no-hitter.
But you know, the wheels are turning. What's up ahead? What other games do we have this week? We've got Binder, who we're holding off for Saturday in the GNT, but we've got a state game on Thursday.
Strike 3. So that is strikeout number 1 for Volker.
Pitch out of the strike zone. Bowman goes after the high pitch.
Interestingly enough, Seton Hall was scheduled to play West Essex yesterday, but West Essex qualified for the state playoffs and had a playoff game yesterday. And according to the NJSIAA, their games take precedence over anything. Grounded up the middle, Stevens will field it on the low hop. And it is a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the fourth for Brian Volker. As we head to the home fourth, Caldwell still leads 2-0.
Suburban Crime Watch. With your help, 30 criminals have been brought to justice since October. The show does work, but only if you watch. Suburban Crime Watch identifies local criminals, profiles law enforcement teams, and talks to prosecutors, sheriffs, and state troopers. Suburban Crime Watch, local television that makes an impact. Mondays at 7:30 p.m. only on Suburban Cablevision TV 3.
Two-nothing game with Caldwell leading at this point. The Suburban High School Sports Report comes your way every Thursday evening at 7:30 with Rob Matola, and again on Friday evening, also at 7:30. As Rob will count it down for the final weeks of the high school scholastic season. Most of the action will end that second weekend of June. There might be a couple of games left after the state championships, but that's probably when the season will end, that second week of June.
And that's the sport that goes the longest. Softball will be ending in just a couple of Saturdays, and lacrosse will be ending the first Saturday in June. And
the reason I mention that is the softball end of the Greater Middlesex County Tournament. All opening games last weekend got rained out.
Yeah.
So all the opening round games have been pushed back to this weekend. And because of that, other games have been pushed back a little bit, and the championship game is at a date yet to be determined.
Yeah.
And a few years ago, when Colonia played in and won, their game was played after the state championship game. So that looks like that is a possibility looming again for GMC softball. And there's always that stray regular season game that you have after the group championships are played that you have to play either by league rule or because it has a bearing on the league championship. Home half of the fourth. Kuzin will lead it off for the Prep, looking for their first hit. They might have it there, deep down the left field line. It is foul. Had it stayed fair, it would have been a double for Kuzin had it gone over the wall.
we have a long way to go in this game, Paul, and you've pointed out that there's a no-hitter going for Clancy. In this ballpark, if you can throw a no-hitter, you've got something going, because this is nothing more than a high foul fly ball. Now, in another field, Metaliano might have a shot at, let's say it was in fair territory. It clearly would have been a double for Kuzin, but in another field, Metaliano would have probably been able to settle under it.
This one he's not going to settle under. Hard hit ball. It's off the wall, and it's going to be extra bases for Kuzin. He's around first. Nice play in the outfield by the Caldwell shortstop. Mike Quant did exactly what the shortstop has to do at this field. On the hard hit ball, he went out to back up Metaliano, the left fielder. He fields it off the wall, but still a double for Kuzin. First hit for the Pirates.
Unlike Fenway's monster, where you can pretty much determine where the ball's going to bounce, this one, since it's off of stone support, I mean, I played stoop ball growing up in New York City. I might be able to field it out there a little better, being able to figure out the rebounds. But Kuzin with the double.
Tom Carini, the batter, takes ball one. Yeah, the wall, first of all, is at an angle to the field, but also because of the supports sticking out, the ball hits one of those, it could go in any number of directions.
Yeah, you really have to be alert here, as Quant was, but also the center fielder has to be alert on a ball like that. Who knows where it's going to bounce? If he relaxes on it because it's a dead left field shot, that could result in another base being taken by the runner.
Now, that one, there you see the supports that stick out. And again, if a ball hits those, who knows where it could go. Quant, being awake, did not save a base. But if the ball had, if he had not gone out there, then certainly it would have been easier double for Kuzin. And if that ball hits directly off the wall and comes right back to the shortstop spot, it's possible that the play Quant made could have saved a base and only made it a single. But as it turns out, it really would have been a double anyway, but Quant was awake to get out to the outfield. Carini is up. The Prep trails by 2 here in the home half of the 4th inning. Blake Clancy has just given up his first hit of the game. Nice bunt. Forces Clancy to field it. He's not going to have a play. All hands are safe on the bunt single by Tom Carini.
Excellent excellent bunt by Carini, forcing the lefty to field it so he'd have to turn around and make a play. Now compare this to Dillon's bunt earlier, where this one a little farther down the line, and Hapworth too deep to field it, and once he slipped and fell, there was no play.
Carini with a team-high 33 hits. He puts runners on first and third for the Prep. Carini is one of 5 Seton Hall players who hail from my old hometown of Bloomfield. So runners on the corners for Rhett Zydzunas. Zydzunas had been the starting pitcher, now playing right field. Rhett drew the first of 2 consecutive walks against Clancy in the 2nd inning. Let's see if any type of play is on here. Throw to first. Prep trails by 2, but we're only in the 4th inning. They'd certainly like to have that difference here. Runners fake the start. Runner dashes into second base with the stolen base. The Caldwell defensive play was for Clancy to intercept the throw. He just knocked it down, but a steal for Carini.
The Seton Hall bench involved in that too. Someone yelling squeeze on the play to try to further confuse the Caldwell defense. Kuzin was not coming down the line, and Caldwell tried to make a play by throwing the ball right back to Clancy. He had a little trouble handling it, but they weren't really trying to throw down and get Carini at second.
Caldwell defense playing in with the 2-0 lead for Zydzunas. He'll take it for a ball. No one out for the Prep. Home half of the 4th. Zydzunas with Fornaro to follow. Swing and a miss. Low pitch. Kuzin, the runner at third for Seton Hall. Carini backs him up at second base. Blake Clancy out on the mound here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The junior has just given up his first 2 hits, a double to Kuzin and a bunt single to Carini. Here's the pitch to Zydzunas. High for a ball. 2-2. Clancy, the left-hander, looks in. Off-speed pitch, low. So the count will go full.
Zval continues to warm up in the Caldwell bullpen. As we look at the runners at third and second.
Kuzin at third, Carini at second. No one out. Bottom of the 4th. Payoff pitch to Zydzunas in the dirt. It gets away from Cololillo, but of course no advance made with short backstop. And the bases are full of Seton Hall runners here in the home 4th.
And uncharacteristic control problems continue for Blake Clancy. His 4th walk of the ball game. And as we had mentioned earlier, came in just walking 13 in 40 innings.
Rocco Fornaro, sophomore left fielder, with the bases loaded, nobody out. Take strike 1.
Zval done with his warm-up action. Brian Shave was out there also. I'm not sure if Shave was warming up or just catching Zval. I couldn't really tell whether or not there was dual warm-up action, if you will. But I think it was Zval who was loosening up in earnest.
And Mike Fanning has finished his warm-up for Seton Hall, so Fanning is ready if they need him for the 5th. 1-1 pitch. Off speed, in for a strike. 1-2. Kuzin is at third base. Carini is in the middle. And Zadunas trails the field at first. 1-2 to Fernaro. 2-2. Number 8 hitter in the Seton Hall lineup, R.J. Fernaro. Came into the game hitting .291 with 14 RBI. 4 extra base hits, all doubles. 2-2 to the lefty. And the sophomore swings and misses.
Well,
One obstacle is out of Clancy's way, but there are others to follow.
And watch the left-handed hitter step away from this breaking pitch. All caught up, footwork all entangled.
Number 9 hitter Gary Cordovano steps in. Cordovano, another left-handed hitter. The DH swings through the first pitch, a hard fastball by Clancy, strike one. Cordovano went down swinging to end the second inning.
And remember, Cordovano was ahead 3-0 at that point, and then Clancy came back to get him.
Did he go? No, 1-1. Clancy working quickly in the dirt, backhanded by Colalillo, knocks it away. 2-1 to Cordovano. Again, Cordovano is the DH. He's batting for now pitcher Brian Volker. Bases are full, one away. Off-speed pitch, fly ball, deep center field. Decker Prendergast coming over towards left. He makes the grab. His throw is going to go all the way through, but it will not be in time, and it's a 2-1 ball game. The only man to move up on the play was Kuzin. So a sac fly and an RBI for Cordovano.
Decker Prendergast going back for this, and a little bit of a base running blunder made by Carini at second, not advancing on the play, particularly when the throw came all the way through. And so now it'll take a base hit to bring him home, although Seton Hall has pulled within one.
Top of the order, George Dillon. Carini stayed put at second base. And of course, Zadunas had to at first. 2-1, bottom of the fourth. Dillon hit in the first inning, grounded out to the mound in the third. Takes ball one. Kuzin's double started things off. Carini followed it with a bunt single. Zadunas walked to load the bases. Fornaro struck out looking. But then Cordovano got a run home on the fly ball to center field. That's where we are right now. Top of the order, 2 away. Runners on first and second. Pick off at first. Zadunas back. Cece coming in behind the runner. One-0 count to Dillon. 1-1. Regular season game here between these two Essex County teams with outstanding records, 2 of the best in the county, and that's why they are in the GNT semifinals. 1-1, runners on the move, and Carini easily steals third, and the throw goes into left field. It's backed up by Quant. The throw to the plate. He dives, he's out. So Carini is thrown out, and that's the second big play that Mike Quant made in the inning. In the inning, Seton Hall does score a run. They get 2 hits. There were no errors, and there is 1 runner left on. We head to the 5th with Caldwell leading 2-1. Last year, Garrett Newbar won the GNT championship for the Livingston Lancers in their last at-bat. Hello, everyone. I'm Paul Spahala. What action is in store for you this year in the GNT championship? Either come here to Doc Gell's Field in Verona or watch the championship game right here on TV3. You'll be able to see all the action of the GNT Final Sunday the 31st of May at 9:30, Tuesday June 2nd at 9:30, and Wednesday June 3rd at 3 p.m. right here on TV3. Mike Quant made two outstanding defensive plays in the bottom of the fourth, one backing up the double hit by Kuzin, and that was just a heads-up play. It really didn't save anything. But, Matt, on this play, he saved the game-tying run.
Runners going on the pitch. Throw made down to third. Skips past Hapward, and Mike Shepard Jr. sending Carini down, and it is the shortstop who was going to throw the ball flat-footed. Wide head-first slide attempted. Paul DeCencio with a good look at it. Fine play made by Colalillo, getting Carini on the ankle before he could even come and hit the plate. Clearly, Carini realized he didn't hit the plate, was going back a second time, and that keeps Caldwell in front by a run.
Carini did the only thing he could do. He dove wide of the plate and figured I'll either reach for it or try and get on the second time, and Colalillo did a great job. Missed him on the arm, missed him on the body, but just kept diving at him and certainly got him on the leg, no doubt about it. The replay showed it. So Mike Quant with the great backup, Colalillo with the good tag. And there is number 3, Mike Quant. Beautiful backhanded play, and not only did he save a run, but Colalillo thanks him for saving an error. Fly ball hit towards right field. Zidzunas there, reaches up and puts it away.
A little more carry on the ball than Zidzunas thought.
So Mike Masella flies out to Zidzunas to start the top of the fifth. Seton Hall, again, did score in the fourth, so it is a 2-1 ball game here in the top of the fifth. And we go to the top of the order for the Chiefs and Rob Masella. Rob is 0 for 2. This will probably be the last inning that we will see Brian Volker. Rob Masella looks at a ball.
This game, Paul, has been everything that it was advertised to be, and we're looking forward to seeing these two teams on Saturday in the GNT semifinal. Of course, that game probably will be like a 14-11 slugfest, errors,